The second thing, probably the hardest thing I have to deal with is Hey guys, good to see you here again, and today I would like to talk about how exactly I began this channel and the things that I didn't have or didn't know how to do but were needed before I could post my first video. But before that, I would like to say thank you so much for the love and support for the entire release period of Resonate. I hope you enjoy the music as well as the artwork. If you haven't checked them out, all info are in the description box below. Please ignore the blue color on my face. I don't want to re-record the whole thing again. So if you follow my first video, you will know that Resonate was done quite some time ago. But there was a chasm that I had to cross. A chasm between me and the release of this album. Like any other business, music business is complicated. YouTube, streaming platforms, and online businesses are all getting bigger and bigger, and therefore are also becoming more competitive. There are things like ever-changing trends, algorithms, analytics, policy, copyright issues, visual contents, users' behavior, new and upcoming social network and streaming platforms, different audience, different strategies. And for musicians and artists, we have to deal with digital distributions, monetizations, and content management at the backstage. And for someone who has been on a different grid for many years and has to pick them all up at once, it's quite a huge chasm to cross. Before I began the channel, I had so much to consider until I wasn't moving at all. I was literally spending weeks, months doing research, waiting for something else to happen first. And then I began to lose perspective. I began to dwell into the micro detail of things, and I began to lose sight of the overview or the big picture. Until one day, a short video appeared on my YouTube feed, and in this video, this guy says something like this: you may want to start a business or an investment or a hobby or something that you have wanted to do for a long time. But before you start, you are already looking at step number 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to step 99. And you become overwhelmed, you become stressed out, and you begin to procrastinate. And you have forgotten that all you need is to look at step 1 and take it. After I watched the video, I immediately set a release date for Resonate, and then I worked backwards. In the initial stage, the first thing that I need to deal with was song artwork. Probably a year ago, I engaged Tang Ming to create this stunning artwork for the album. And so again, a big shout out to Tang Ming. Go follow him on his Instagram. He's an incredible artist. All the links are in the description box below. At first, I thought I was going to use the same artwork across the entire album. But later, my partner told me if I do that and people see that it's the same artwork on the thumbnail, people would think that it's the same song and skip them all. That makes a lot of sense. So for those of you who are not aware of it, here's a bonus tip. And so that means I need more artwork, at least 5 to 6 more. I try to look for those royalty-free images, but they just look too generic to me, and I don't like them. They are nice ones, but as you know, if it is nice, probably a lot of people are using the same thing, the same images as well. I use it for my song, other people use it for something else, and it's just weird, right? Compared to pictures, there are less choice when it comes to royalty-free artwork, because artwork is harder to create. Again, I have found some nice one, but I just couldn't draw any sort of connection with them. And so this left me no choice but to hands-on myself. People who know me personally know that I have no art background. I couldn't even draw a stickman properly. So if I were to create artwork, I would have to solve them like I would solve a technical problem. And so this is the one that I talked about on Instagram and on Facebook. This one is for Yoru no Kurora, the 5th song of the album. Go check them out. And this is how I did. I chose an image that I like on the internet. I took a piece of paper and stick them on the monitor screen, and start tracing the outline of the buildings and all those stuff. But the image was very complex and very dark. I was not able to trace half of them actually. So it was based on my imagination that I filled up the entire thing. And so this is how it looks like in the beginning. I scan it with cam scanner, and then I use software to straighten the lines, clean up all the spaces in between, and add more stuffs. I made two versions, dark version, light version, and then edit them together so that it looks like the street light is lighting up the surrounding. And the reason I do that is because I don't know how to do animations. So I was taking the concept of stop motion, which means I put a series of pictures together in a row and just play them. This is picture number 1, and this is picture number 2. This is picture number 3, and so on. And I play them. You see? This is how it looks like. That's how I create the rest of the artwork and solve the artwork issues. Of course, they are nowhere near what a professional artist could do like Tang Ming, but they are good enough. In the meantime, I also discover a website called lunapic.com. It's an online photo editing website. I used to convert pictures into like pencil sketch effects or watercolor style, that kind of stuff. Just like how I changed this into this. And then there are lots of free overlays on the internet like rain, snow, dust, butterflies, birds, all this stuff that you can use and put it into your video. All these free resources, including a free video editing software, have really eased up the entire initial process. They're out there, you just have to go find them. Just make sure they are all royalty free and free to use even for commercial purposes. Otherwise, you could get into trouble. The second thing, probably the hardest thing I have to deal with, is video production. I didn't like taking pictures, so I didn't really know how to operate a camera, and I don't have a proper production camera. I'm filming with my phone now, and what you're looking at is Nikon 1, a very old camera. It's the only camera I have, otherwise I'll be filming strictly with my phone. It's not great, but it's workable. It's bad especially in low light situations, so I have to make sure the set is always super bright. And these are the lights that I use. There are ring lights, LED panel, pocket size LED panel, and this one is cool. This one is called TikTok light. Some people call it sunset light. These are the cheapest thing that you can find online, like super cheap. And these are some of the accessories I use, like clamps, phone holder, clips, reflector, diffusers, and probably that's it. So look at all this. This is the result coming out from all the things that I mentioned just now. They are not great, but good enough to begin with, and I could definitely carry on with all this and slowly upgrade. I know what you're thinking. Every time when you look at somebody else's YouTube video, it's daunting. Why? Because it seems like everybody has a Canon 90D and at least one professional light, aperture 300D Mark II, and the rest of the fancy accessories like gimbal, filter, different lenses, drones. All this thing coming together may have become some kind of invisible standard that makes you think you have to have all this thing before you could begin. No, you don't have to. Just do what you are able to do with whatever resources you can find around you. I started with minimal resources and zero skill. Yes, I'm a pro when it comes to music and audio, but not artwork, not camera, not photography, not videography. And what I've been working on for the past few months, all this YouTube preparation, has very little to do with music and audio production. If I could do it, come on, you could do it too. The point is, don't wait until you have a lot of money, then only you want to start investing. Don't wait until you have a sports car, then only you want to start learning how to drive. Once you have everything, you most probably would not do anything. It's a funny thing. It's human nature. And it's always because we don't have something that we become motivated, right? When it comes to social network, I am still a newbie, still trying to learn how to maneuver around all these different social network, try to post as often as I could, applying all the strategies I've learned. But I'm no expert, seriously, so I can't really say anything. But instead, I need your help. If you have been following me on my Facebook or Instagram and you have some suggestions, please let me know. You can let me know in the comment down below, or you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. If you have reached this point of the video, thank you. And you might as well subscribe to the channel, please. If you like my work so far, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. So moving forward, what you could expect from this channel is that there will be more music related stories and discussions. It may not always be mine. Sometimes I will talk about other people's music. There will be new music, of course, new album, which I'm already working on it, actually. And I'll be doing some interesting covers. So there will be new video every week. I will try my best to do it consistently. So that's all for today. I hope this video motivates you to start taking your step number 1 and how you could rely on minimal resources and your creativity to cross over to wherever you want to be. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.